Welcome back to Run Away From Home. Today we're going to talk about something that can overwhelm people when they're starting full-time life on the road, but it can actually be exciting and make you extra income. Downsizing all of your stuff. So we're going to focus on selling your stuff today. And the main categories of things that you're going to want to get rid of are cars, clothing, furniture, and household items. Our favorite way to do that is Facebook Marketplace, so we're going to jump right in. Facebook Marketplace is growing as a commerce site. What Craigslist used to be back in the day is basically what Facebook Marketplace is now. Selling on Facebook Marketplace is super easy and all you need is a smartphone. But before you even start selling, what you should do is join local for sale groups. So look on your Facebook, search groups in your area. So for us, we're in a lot of Phoenix for sale, Scottsdale for sale, those kinds of things, because we were selling from that area when we were downsizing and leaving our home. If you're going to be doing that, you want to join all these groups because through Facebook Marketplace, you can actually post your listing in these different specified groups. You can also join more specialty groups. So if you're really into something or maybe you have a collection of something, join a group for that collection so you can sell directly to them. For example, we are in a lot of Grateful Dead groups and tie-dye and handmade art groups because we have our tie-dye business as well. So join those specific groups as you're starting to downsize and do it before you get into Facebook Marketplace listings because it usually takes a while for you to get into the private groups. And now you have a targeted group of people that you're selling to. We have sold homes and homes worth of stuff on Facebook Marketplace. And trust me when I say you can sell anything on there. So I'm going to show you with screen recording so that you can see exactly what to do and how you need to do it.
Okay, so here is how you list on Facebook Marketplace. First, go to Marketplace at the bottom. It's the little shop sign. Then once you're there, you'll hit Create New Listing. You choose the selection, so item, vehicles, homes for rent, etc. Let's do an item to start. Once you're in there, you'll see that it kind of walks you through the required information. In your title, you want to make it something searchable. So you want to include the brand and the style of shirt and the size. Because of the way that descriptions appear when your listing is shared within groups, it's easier to have the size in there so that potential buyers can quickly see if it fits them. So ours is going to be Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett, button down, large. All the necessary information. Then you want to include the price. Again, try and keep it a bargain, but still make yourself some money. Always choose the category, and you can scroll through the different categories to make sure that you're selecting the correct one. Under condition, make it good because they will rate you based on the accuracy of your description. Again, you're going to include the size and the brand, but we recommend including this in the title as well. And this is for clothing. Each item is slightly different. So when you select the category, we selected men's clothing. The category will dictate which categories appear here. In your description, you want to say something fun and you want to make it something that is relatable. The tags is anything that's loosely related to the item. So a lot of tags that we include are the color, the style, will include casual, fun, gift, unique, vintage, stuff like that. Anything that can be included. This helps you pop up on search results. You don't need a SKU because you're not doing too many listings. You can if you're really organized and want to. Now I'm just going to add random photos just so you can see what it's like, but basically you want to just add the photos that you took. You're limited, but just add as many as you can, and the ones that really highlight how good your product is. If you choose to hide from friends, you will not be able to share it in groups, so we don't do that. Select your location. Sometimes we actually change our location based on the item. So if we're selling Western wear, we actually say that our location is in Dallas. It's important to include the correct location if you're using their prepaid shipping labels, but if you're using your own, it doesn't really matter. On the next screen, you can select if you choose to accept offers. We usually do. Then you just list to all relevant groups. Fill in the max, which is 20. More groups, more people can see it. And then publish. It's really that easy. Now I'm just going to show you what a vehicle listing looks like. I'm not going to fill it all out, but just to show you, there are different fields that you'll need to fill in, different information about your vehicle, and it walks you through the whole process. We always include that Carfax is available upon request. This helps make buyers feel more comfortable, and that it has to be a cash-only offer and no seller financing. This truly weeds out a lot of people.
As you continue your listings, one of the most important things is taking good photographs. So make sure that the photographs are well lit, there's nothing distracting in the background, and I'm going to link to a couple different listings in our blog below, so make sure you go to that so you can see an example of previous listings that we've had. The better the pictures, the more likely it is that you're going to sell. Just make sure people can see exactly the condition and quality of what you're trying to sell. Facebook Marketplace is really a great place to start because it walks you through it and it forces you basically to fill out the information that buyers want to know before purchasing an item. All right, let's talk about what happens to typically be the biggest amount of stuff that you're going to need to get rid of: clothing. For most people, this is what we found is the most challenging because they have to pare down their wardrobe so significantly for full-time RV life. And let me tell you, you're not going to miss your old clothes. Honestly, it's something that is very freeing to have to downsize your wardrobe to such an extreme. For this kind of stuff, I recommend also using OfferUp, Poshmark, and taking it to a local for sale thrift store. So it's not all thrift stores, but some will actually pay you for your clothing. Some examples include Plato's Closet, My Sister's Closet, and Buffalo Exchange. Keep in mind that it totally depends on your area and the demand that those places currently have. So you might think you're walking in with thousands of dollars of clothing and they offer you $20 for one item. Just as you're walking in, know that that might be the case and just accept that that is the reality of what they offer you. It's way lowball offers. Another great thing that you can do with clothing is actually have a yard sale. So we actually learned this tip from our friend who's a van lifer. She listed items on Facebook Marketplace, all her furniture, household items, basically anything she wanted to sell. And then rather than shipping them and dealing with multiple buyers, she said, here's the item for sale, here's the target price, and it will be available at my yard sale on this date. So it brought people to her yard sale. She was able to basically market her yard sale on Facebook Marketplace. It brought people to the yard sale. They not only bought the item they were interested in, they also bought other items like clothing. So that's a really great option to kind of get rid of your clothes. The majority of your clothes, unless you're super fashionable, will probably need to be donated. And by the way, for us, our downsize kind of rule was we're no longer separating colors, so everything is washed together, reds, colors, whites, it's all washed together. And then we're also no longer having clothes that can't be dried in a dryer. And the reason for that is you use a laundromat on the road. So if you nail it down to those little categories, it's pretty easy to downsize. Not everything can be done that way. So you don't have to do that exactly, but I do recommend keeping that in the back of your mind. You won't have access to a big laundry room. It'll be more challenging to dry your clothes on a line, that kind of stuff. All right. Once the clothing is gone, honestly, that's the part that people get stuck on a lot because it's just so much. Then you have your whole household items. These are very easy to sell on Facebook Marketplace. Probably the easiest thing to sell is household items. So you can sell anything from a tiny little sculpture that you have, just like for looks at your cabinets, or plants, fake plants, real plants. You can sell basically anything. It's very easy to sell if you keep the price point at a bargain. Don't try and make what you paid for it when you bought it. Just make what you would be happy with selling it, because otherwise you're probably going to donate it. So any money is good, right? So just list it for $5 to $20, for typical items, and they will fly off your shelves. And then after you've sold all these household wares, you can also relist them on OfferUp. Like I said, you basically copy and paste Facebook Marketplace, list it on OfferUp. Super easy to do. You could also do the tactic of having a yard sale and marketing them for the yard sale if you don't want to deal with it. But the reason that we recommend selling stuff is it just makes it so much easier to part with the items. You know that someone else is going to be using it, and you make an income from it. The trickiest thing to sell, just because a lot of people aren't aware of how to do it, is selling cars. So most people have a car, they own a vehicle, and they have a loan on it. That is totally fine. If you have a loan on your car, you can still sell your car private party. The 3 ways that we recommend selling your car is 1, Facebook Marketplace, and then relisting to OfferUp. 2, through Kelley Blue Book listing, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And then 3, through trade-in. So if you have maybe you're buying a truck for your rig, or maybe you're buying a trade-in.
Okay, so here's how you do it on Kelley Blue Book. This is their homepage. You want to tap on My Car's Value. You should do this anyway to get a good idea. Go to Kelley Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, Get Offer, and Trade-in Value. Fill out the info. Dealers will start reaching out. We did this and sold our car in 16 hours above asking price.
And I only know how to do this because my brother is in the car business and he's sold hundreds and hundreds of cars on Facebook Marketplace. So he's an expert when it comes to this, and he walked me through this step by step. The best way to sell it when you have a loan is once you reach a deal, so never, if possible, do not sell it for lower than what your loan is worth, at least for a while. If you have time and you're selling your car, then list it for above what your loan is worth, even if Kelley Blue Book or something else actually tells you that it's worth less. Someone might still want it. If your car's in great condition, then someone's going to want it, and they'll pay a little bit extra for it if it's a good condition car. All right, so you're getting ready to sell your car. The first thing you're going to want to do is get it detailed. Paying for a detail, look for a Groupon, look for a special, whatever, but paying for a detail will increase the value and how much you're able to actually sell your car for, especially when you're doing private seller. Dealers, they can see through that. They see through it that you're going to get it detailed on their own, right? So dealerships don't care really about the cosmetic look, but private buyers, they absolutely do. Private buyers want to see that the seats are in great condition and everything's clean. To them, it signals that the car is probably well maintained. So even if your car is gross right now, go in, get it detailed, and try not to get it dirty throughout the whole selling process. Especially if you have kids, this is a great thing to do. Just clean it all out. Once you do that, go ahead, pick up one of the signs from a hardware store, a for sale sign, and put it very visibly in your front window or back window, and park it on a street if you're able to in your area with high traffic, somewhere that you can walk to and still use your cars. We did have a lot of inquiries just from doing this, so it's worth doing. Even though it's kind of a long shot for a sale, it's still worth doing just to capture a different audience than you would from just listing online. You have that, the car is clean. You want to take very good pictures. You want pictures of everything you can. Now, Facebook maxes out how many pictures you can take. So just go above and beyond when you're taking the photos and then narrow it down to whatever the maximum Facebook is. It changes. So I think it's 21 photos right now. So take photos of front, back, sides, doors open, interior, dash. Take pictures of the odometer so they can see exactly how many miles are on it when you do the listing. Basically anything that's a benefit in your car. If there's something really cool in your car, take a photo of that. And you want them to be in a well-lit area and ideally a beautiful background. So let's say you live in an apartment complex. Rather than taking the pictures in your apartment complex in the parking garage, drive to a local park, have some trees in the background, take a bunch of photos, whatever makes it look good. This makes a huge difference with how much interest you get in your listings. So do the photos. Like I said with the items, it's the same with the furniture, it's the same with the items. Photos make a difference. It truly makes people feel comfortable and safe. It shows that you took the time to clean up the car, the time to take these nice photos, and they will feel more comfortable approaching you about a potential test drive or sale. Once your car is ready to be listed, you list all the information. Make sure that you include any upgrades, because again, a dealership doesn't really care about off-market upgrades, but private sellers do. In the listing, say cash only, must have cash on hand. As you're talking to them and they're negotiating with you on Facebook through Messenger, just say, do you have the cash now? You just have to ask. They can get a loan on their own and they can actually deal with that, but they still have to have the money now. It's really important, and it weeds out so many different people. All right, now that you're listed, people are interested. You know how to funnel people out a little bit better, always asking to have cash on hand. The next thing is going to be test driving to serious potential buyers. We just let them have the car, drive it around themselves, and we've never had an issue with it. We found that it's a better experience if they can do it on their own, because everyone gets nervous driving some random person around. So you're a stranger to them. They don't want to drive you around and have you judging them, and they want to maybe talk with their family members about what they like and don't like in the car and kind of have a negotiation strategy while they're in the car. And we've seriously never had an issue. We've sold 5 cars on Facebook Marketplace, test driven all of them, no issues, no one driving off. My brother's done hundreds, so you don't need to really worry. But if you want to worry, collect driver's license and get in the car with them. I would be more nervous getting in a car with a stranger than I would letting them drive my car around. The next question that they're going to get is, well, how do I buy it from you if you have a loan? This is also a more complicated transaction. The best way to do this is they actually write a check directly to the loan provider. So whoever you have, let's just use Ally Financial as an example because it's the most recent one we had. So you're going to want to contact Ally Financial and make sure that the check is made out to the right place, that they send it to the correct address and all of this. Usually what we do is we send a link from Ally Financial, from their website, to the potential buyer, and we have them read it over too so they feel equally comfortable. We give them the phone number as well. Let's say your loan is for $11,000 and you sold it for $12,000. They will pay $12,000 directly to Ally Financial. And then Ally Financial will send you a check for $1,000. So that's how it works when you sell for a profit. They actually pay you out in the end. Then Ally Financial will send a title directly to the new buyers. Each lender is different, so you want to talk to someone directly to make sure you're doing the right steps. But at the end of the day, you'll need all their information, they'll need all your information. You do the exchange, Ally sends you the money, or the bank sends you, the seller, the money, and says them, the buyer, the title. And then it's all good to go. You may need to do extra paperwork depending on your state. So if you're transferring the title, make sure that you look up your state's requirements for transferring the title, and you might need to do a little bit more communication with them. We really recommend writing a bill of sale contract. Best practice is you give the keys to them once the bank confirms that the money was received. If you screw them over, then they can sue you because they have a contract protecting them. So you want protections for both sides. It also helps them make them more comfortable. It's best to have the money in hand and have the check actually cashed before you hand it over. So all of these ways of selling all your stuff, the whole point of it is to make it easier on you when you're downsizing for full-time life on the road. And if you're curious about what you should use that income for and what you should actually buy for your RV, all the different gear and knickknacks that make RV life really awesome, we've linked our ultimate RV packing checklist below. It's a good checklist, even if you're not going full-time, just weekend warrior right now. Do maybe some ideas that you didn't really think of before of where you can spend all this money that you're making. All right, so now you know how to sell basically everything that you own. Trust me that this process works and it really helps with downsizing. Subscribe for more RV life and remote income tips. Bye! The other apps basically Oh, is our dog walking? Barking dog next door.